Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 15, episode 3. So let's get into it. We're going to get a little spicy. So before this episode came out, we found out the ladies' taglines, and I want to read through them and give you guys my thoughts. We have Marlow going live on Sunday night to pretty much explain herself after what was showcased at the end of the episode. And then we also have Ralph in this cringy video, and it made the wheels in my head turn about their whole divorce situation. So let's start off with the tagline. All right, so Kenya's up first, and hers goes, "I just don't do it for the culture, honey, I am the culture." I don't like that. I don't know why, because I don't think it fits for Kenya. I don't know. This just didn't hit me. And I mean, she is a part of the culture because she won. Is it Miss USA? I think it's Miss USA. She won USA in 1993. So that is very cultural. I was about to say culturable, but cultural, that is for the culture. That is history. But Kenya made history. So I get it, but just didn't hit for me. Then we have Marlow. Marlow said, "My past may be checkered, but my future is solid gold." I kind of like that. It alludes to her past. They brought up her past this episode. But I like that. It's not really hitting, but it's cute. It's cute. So I can give Marlow that. The next one is Sheree. Sheree's go, "She by Sheree, more like she broke the internet." Girl, no. First of all, you didn't break the internet. What Beyonce did, release a Beyonce, okay? Oh, that's my favorite album, was internet breaking. Woo! I remember the day after she released that album. That had us, and then the visuals, that's my favorite. Ooh. I can't wait. I can't wait for this concert. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that, Sheree. We then have Candy. "My roots are in Atlanta, but my branches are worldwide." I get the whole worldwide thing, but I feel like it's kind of getting played out. For me, it is. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it. So far, I don't hate anybody's. It's just that, they're not, giving. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving it to me. Okay, then we have Sonya's, "If you couldn't keep up with my pay." No, oh, my bad, y'all. If you can't... Let me get my words together. It says, "If you can't keep the pace, stay out of my race." Okay. It's cute. Okay, it's cute. I likes it. So far, Marlow and Sanya is giving me a little bit, but not a lot. And then the last is Drew. "Forget the gaslight. I'm taking the spotlight." I kind of like it. And y'all know I don't see it for Drew. But I don't know, because the gaslight thing is getting the worldwide thing. It's kind of getting played out for me. But this is the last season I want them to use it. For real, the last season I want them to use it. But, okay, I'll say if I had to rank who I like, I would put Sonya over Marlow and then Drew at the bottom. So that would be my little thing. So let's move on to Ralph's video. So I was on Twitter scrolling. Next thing you know, I see one of my mutuals be like, "Really? Really?" So I was like, what are you doing that to? What was the gif in the tweet for? So I followed it. Let me play this video for y'all with Ralph, and then I'm gonna come back.
It was definitely fun. Yeah,
this was amazing. I gotta bring the kids back. JoJo, he could definitely be doing this.
Yeah.
Now that I'm adding music on my plate, how do you feel about me going from being with the kids 100%? Being a true housewife, back to my career?
That was always the plan from the beginning. And we like Ike and Tina.
Yo! Why would you say that, son? Yo, it's Jay-Z and Beyonce. You never use the word Ike.
Matter of fact, people don't even name their kids Ike no more because of Ike. Yo, you messed up, son. You messed up and I'm mad at you. Matter of fact, go to timeout.
Okay, y'all. So that was his video. That right there, Ralph's video gave me the same feelings when I saw Louis do his video of Teresa's new husband on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like, I was like, what is this? And then the caption, y'all. The caption is what made it even worse. What made it weird. What made it weird. Hold up. Okay. Ralph says sometimes you have to sometimes you have to put yourself in timeout. Mommy, I'm sorry. Cringe. Complete cringe. Why would he say that? And like I said, it had my wheels turning. I hope this is not, y'all know I already don't see it for Drew, but I definitely will not see it for her if it comes out that her and Ralph, like, we're playing with their marriage. Like, when we get to the reunion for this season, Drew had better already, like, she should be divorced. She should be divorced. No, I don't want to see no reconciliation. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see none of that. But if I do see them get back together, I would know something. I will know y'all played, and then I'm really done with both of y'all. Because it's too much. It's too much. So let's move on to Marlow's video. So Marlow posted a video yesterday night to kind of like advocate for herself or explain herself. She did it on live, and I got the clip, I think, from Bravo Shade Room. But I'm going to play it for you, and then we're going to talk about it.
I'm bring it up. Y'all, every single person was scared to bring it up. And Drew, I give her props. She was the only one that had courage to bring it up. But when she brought it up, Drew said, y'all can really tell if you look at it. The incident that happened, girl, this was on the news. There was a shooting at Candy's restaurant. Blaze, it was on the news. But poor Drew was so scared. And she was the only one with enough courage to say, and I mean, when I tell y'all, Kenya, everybody look at that girl like, if you don't be quiet, this is Queen Candy. We don't talk about anything negative that happens to her. So that triggered me, y'all. It really did. It took me back to where my nephew, who used to work with Candy, who used to work for Candy at Old Lady Gang, he got shot and killed. I called Candy, reached out to Candy, told her about it. And to me, I didn't get the acknowledgement I wanted from her. She didn't acknowledge it. Then, as you see, I went into her home a day or two later, and she had as if I never even texted her about it. So to me, it's all about the acknowledgement. It's about, if it was Marlow, let me tell you this, it had been Marlow. I get it. I get incident sounds better than shooting. But don't you think defending myself sounds better than me stabbing somebody or cutting somebody? I'm confused. But this is my friend now. This is my friend who tried to get me a TV show. This is my friend who referred me to an agent. This is my friend. So if I call you and tell you my blood nephew, my sister's firstborn, was shot and murdered, that used to work for you. He didn't work for you 10 years ago. He just worked for you. His death has been 2 years now, but he was still working for you less than 5 or 6 months ago. And you're not going to say, girl, I'm going to send flowers. I'm sorry to hear that, sis. Let me send a platter from Old Lady Gang. Let me reach out to your sister. Come on. Come on. I mean, how do you not acknowledge that? So do y'all get where I'm coming from? So any questions you have, ask. Because I want y'all to really be clear on why I was yelling. That shit triggered me. It triggered me to where here we go again. We sit here. If it's anything negative with Candy, it cannot be discussed. It won't be discussed. But let it be something negative with Marlow, it's going to be discussed. It's no way in hell if this would have happened at La Archive. If Candy nephew worked at La Archive and there was a shooting at La Archive, but they said, oh, the incident that happened at La Archive, y'all know that they would have been negative with me. So it is what it is. So I can't make y'all change y'all the way you feel. I don't know how you feel. I just want y'all to know. And that's why I yelled at you. The producer said, hey, there's
all right. So you just heard Marlo's video. And here's my thing. I feel like two things can be true. I think Marlo could have been triggered. I really do think she could have been triggered. Like if you start piecing things together, like her nephew was a chef, Melvin is a chef. Excuse me. The relationship between, Melvin and like what's it called, and Candy, and then Marlo and her nephew, and then both being harmed by gun violence. And I feel like I could see things triggering Marlo, but it still doesn't justify her actions. And even with her video, it's like you could kind of tell like Marlo really believes this like theory she made in her head that Candy is so protected. And slightly it could be true that Candy is protected, so certain things she doesn't really have to dive into on the show. And my thing is like, even if that were true and she was protected, Marlo, you just got here, so I don't understand why you trying to pull rank or trying to do anything. You just got here. You just got a full-time peach. Like, what's the point of you rocking the boat or being so pressed about it? It's weird. It's weird. But Marlo still look crazy. But let's get into this review. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up and we see Sanya and Marlo going to Sheree's house to have brunch. I don't believe that lady made them French toast, because the French toast that they were serving looked it looked better. It looked store-bought. The stuff that she was doing, I don't know what she was doing with that pan. But they sit down and they have a conversation. Sheree asks Sanya about Drew and how she was like, I thought you guys were cool when y'all was at BravoCon. Like, y'all seemed like y'all was all right. And Sanya brings up, like, I thought we were all right, too, before we went to BravoCon. Drew sent me a text message and tried to extend the olive branch and invited me to her mom's birthday party. And I I thought we were good. But like at BravoCon, she was really coming at my neck. And I remember seeing them clips and Drew was really getting at like she was really getting at Sanya. Sanya was like, whoa. And she did kind of look flustered. Like she thought her and Drew were like, they weren't going to be like that. They then start talking about what Mama Joyce said about Todd. And then they show one of the clips of where Candy and Mama Joyce were on the same panel. And Mama Joyce was like, the question posed to Mama Joyce was like, say 3 things nice about Todd. And the first thing out her mouth is like, well, he's still short. And Candy is looking at her mom like, really, Mama? And I'm just like, dang. So Marlo is like, Candy need to watch her mama, not me. And when I think about it, like it reminded me of when everyone was trying to say Marlo was lying when it came to how Todd was disrespected by Mama Joyce. And it's like, she is. You're just mad that the person that said that was Marlo, because it's true. Like Candy does not be sticking up for Todd. And if the roles were like reversed, I know for a fact Candy would be expecting, or she wouldn't even put up with like Todd's mom or like, family member disrespecting her. So I don't understand why she expects him to put up with her mama. So they then get on the topic of Martell, and I hate that he is on my TV screen. And now that they're like on Real Housewives of Atlanta, like their drama is they're starting to get more visibility, because I've seen Martell and Melody more on blog sites. But I saw this clip of Melody, like I think she recently did a live where she's alleging that Martell is threatening to release Revenge, 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 y'all. PORN on her. I don't know if it's true, so allegedly. But if that is true, Martell is fermented rat doo-doo stuck in a horde roach-infested house. Like, just like, I hate when people do that. I hate when like men do it to women especially, but I hate when women do it to men. I hate it, because when people start, I always think it is so like low of people, like once they break up or they get into a bad situation with someone, they release their nudes or they release like sex videos on them. It is so utterly pathetic that like people would do that to somebody, especially when it's like, why would you want to violate them in such a way? It's, we know it's for like embarrassment, but it's like you are even lower than them because you were engaging in that act with them. So like, why would you out them like that or do something like that? And like, it's even worse for this situation with Martell and Melody if it is true, because that is the mother of his kids, and that's a step way too far. If you don't even like, just because you don't like somebody or just because you want to punish them, that's wild to me. And Sheree is trying to sit here and be like, he's such a great man. And, you know, all the things that's been said about him on TV, that's just not who I would be with. You know, I would never be with a man like that. And I'm like, would you, Sheree? Bob treated you like trash. Tyrone treated you like trash. It's looking like you, sis. You don't know how to choose better for yourself. And then Sheree's like, her like baseline level of like, what's it called, of like her bar is in the pits of hell, because Sheree was like, you know, he even came and picked me up like from the airport, like my car service. That is nothing, that's not something extraordinary. Like, bro, like what? Like, because he picked you up from the airport, that's like a, and like an acknowledgement of like, he's such a great guy. He came and got you. If he wanted to see you, he's supposed to come and get you. What are you talking about? What are you talking, like, you ask your friends to come and get you. It's like a common decency kind of thing. Like, I was like, Sheree, ew, bird, you too old to be like this. So then the next like few scenes we have is with Drew and Ralph. They go to like some rock climbing thing for a date, and Drew had such a good time. She was being like stupid when coming down the rock wall. I've been rock climbing and they always tell you jump down. Drew kept letting go, or then she would get scared and then she would like spin around and like hit her back coming down from the rock wall. And I was like, really, Drew? Like, I know they gave you a tutorial before you got to climb that wall. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It just wasn't making sense. So Ralph and Drew are in a good place. They talk about their record. We found out that the record actually has like over 33,000 views. And Ralph is like, that's not really good, but it's like kind of good, but it's not that great. I mean, I feel like that is a good thing for Drew, because who is Drew? And not saying like, yeah, I am saying like Drew hasn't made waves for y'all to do like minimal promotion and not like and have like a certain number of views. Like, even though she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta, once the reunion went off, like, you should know most people forget about this show and move on. So I was just kind of like, what did you expect? I think 33,000 is pretty decent when she's supposed, like, she's a new artist and trying to like make a way for herself. So Drew is asking Ralph, like, you know, what are we gonna do? Because now I'm not gonna be a stay-at-home mom anymore. I'm getting back into music. Like, we have to make time for this. And he's like, well, I've helped you with this, because Drew's whole thing is like, Ralph, you left it. Like, you made it and then you made the song, or you helped me with the song and then you let it go. And Ralph is like, well, I got other things I want to do. I just don't want to do music like you do. And it's just kind of like, I'm just not, you know, with it like that. And she's like, but I want this to be a success for us, because basically with him doing music, they seem to be doing a lot better, because that was their like first way of getting to know each other. So it kind of calms them in a way. But I was like, okay. Then he makes up this line that he was like, oh yeah, we're like Ike and Tina. And my thing about it, I don't even think Ralph understands. Like, I think he understands, but he doesn't understand. Ralph is like a dumb, smart person. Like, he thinks he's so clever and he is able to like manipulate people, but realistically, he ain't that smart. But I feel like in this moment, he was like trying to make a joke because he made that stupid video. And I think he was trying to make a moment, because then Drew was like her gas, like, it was just too much. But he referred to them as Ike and Tina instead of Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. We then see Kenya on the phone trying to get something like a promotion ready for Kenya Moore hair care. I didn't really like how she was speaking to the what's the person's name? The graphic designer. Like, I get it, you're frustrated, but don't be cussing at me, because I just told Kenya, watch your mouth, and you could find somebody else to do this, because you're not gonna cuss at me. But Kenya over, she's talking about like, oh, I like to mentor the children. I was like, no, you don't, Kenya. You're bossy, and I could tell you're bossy because the way your assistant turned your head when you cussed and was like. Like, it was like, oh God, can y'all take that out? Or it gave like, oh God, can y'all take that out? The other part of me was like her saying like, here we go, because it's how she be. Here we go. But we found out Kenya is being asked to dance at one of the HBCU festivals, and she called Mayetta on the phone because I guess Mayetta is a choreographer, and she's like, I want you to help me like, create my dance moves for this HBCU like event. And so Kenya is inviting all the girls, and she's excited. We then have this scene of what's her name? Of Candy and Don Juan meeting at Candy Coated Nights. All right, so we see Candy. I think I said Candy Coated Nights. No, the Candy at the Candy Coated Factory. I don't know what the hell that lady had on. I don't know what Candy had on. Like, she had like, what's it called? Like a ballerina bun with bangs, but the hair was like Jerry Curl-esque. Then her outfit was like a red Letterman's jacket with like a tube top, like it was like meshed, like see-through outfit with her legs being like see-through with a garter. It didn't make sense. I was like, Candy, who told you this was cute? And I think she had on combat boots. Candy looked like she needed to be in like Saved by the Bell or like a MTV, not like a music video. Like, I didn't understand. She looked like an 80s dancer in like a music video. It didn't make any sense to me. So she sits down, and her and Don Juan do this like must list, and that list is long. It said they were building, she had to go to like several events. She had to deal with Blaze's birthday, the Soul Train Awards. I think it said something about an Ebony event. And then like she got she has a podcast on a live show, and Portia's wedding. I don't know why you would go there, but she went to Portia's wedding, and then Todd's movie. And I like the fact that Don Juan told her that if you're going to be a part of this, you have to give it the same amount of attention and effort that Todd gives. And I think it's only fair for people to expect people to have this, put in the same amount of effort as them or more when it comes to their events and their endeavors. So, she was like, yeah, she definitely want to help Todd because Todd has helped her. We find out that they got a new play called Piano Lessons. That's the one that got nominated for a Tony. So Candy really might become an EGOT in a couple of years. She just need to land a good TV show and then a spectacular movie. So, Mayetta comes in. Mayetta gives like a brown noser. Like the whole like, oh my God, Kenny, I'm so happy for you. Oh my God, I heard Daddy's like, Piano Lessons is coming out so good. Like, it feels forced. It feels like you're trying to overly prove that you're like Candy's friend. And I just like, it's annoying at this point. So Mayetta, asks like what happened at BravoCon, and Don Juan is still in the room with them, and he's like, every time we got on stage it was mess. We found out that Mama Joyce was asked like Candy and Mama Joyce were on a panel. Like I said, one of the panels they were on together, they asked her asked Candy, who would you give your mom like money to if something were to happen to you? And I think she was about to say, I can't really give it to my mama because she wouldn't give it to Todd. And she was like, yeah. Mama Joyce was in the back like, yeah. Then there was another question where someone was like, what kind of man like would you want your daughter to be with? And she said somebody with a decent job. And you know how Mama Joyce basically be like, Candy made lemonade out of lemons. And the thing about it is like, Mama Joyce is like so nasty to Todd, and it doesn't make sense. And if I was Todd, I would have been divorced Candy. We would have never had two kids until your mama could learn to respect me. And I'm not saying that Mama Joyce has to like him, but she needs to respect him, and she does not respect him. Everything that comes out your mouth about him is negative, and it's like you haven't proven anything. You haven't proved that he's disrespectful to your daughter. You haven't proved that he has cheated on her. He's abusive. It's like, for the most part, Todd seems like a I'm sorry, y'all. Throat is dry. Todd seems like a very like good dad and a pretty decent partner. So I don't understand why she keeps saying these disparaging things about Todd. And it would annoy me if I was Todd. I would always be looking at Candy funny, because Candy knows like she need to check her mom. And I know it's getting worse because Riley called her mom about it and was basically like, did you hear what she said about Todd? And then Kayla, is that how you say her name? Todd's daughter called, and she was really upset about it, because I think they also said she was like on the set of RuPaul's Drag Race because she works in production. So she was just like upset that, Mama Joyce would say that. And I didn't like the fact that Candy said, well, my mom needs to understand, like, what if Blaze or what if Ace saw this? I'm like, okay, screw them. Like, he already has a child. What about Kayla? Like, y'all have known her for a while. Do y'all not respect her feelings or who she is? Like, Mama Joyce just shouldn't be saying those things. And I fell off of Mama Joyce when she talked so nasty about Todd's mom and didn't even know her. Mama Joyce didn't even know Todd's mom for her to be that nasty towards that lady and say those things about her. And I was just like, yeah, I'm over you. So Candy needs to check her mama. Candy needs to check her mama. So we then have a scene of Ralph and Drew. They're at the house having like a cute little session because they invited Courtney over. They gonna run this cousin thing into the ground, and one of her guests. While they're like getting ready with the private chef, we see Candace FaceTime Drew, and it was cute. Like, Candace looked good, and y'all know Candace was on tour, so they're basically talking, and Candace is like, oh, I want to extend the olive branch to you and like give you the opportunity to like, sing at my event. And so Drew is hella excited. Like, she can't believe that this is happening. Like, she's just like, oh my gosh, like, this is wonderful. So I'm like, okay, cute, cute. So she's gonna perform. We then have a scene with Marlow and the boys. And then after that scene, we have a scene of everyone going to Candace's tour event. So we see Candace and Drew warming up together. I don't know what Drew had on. That Fenty outfit was raggedy. That wig you had on was raggedy. I didn't like Candace's wig, but she looked good. She was feeling her Beyonce fantasy. But, Candace performed, and I was actually excited to see all those people in the audience for her. We then see the ladies that are there, like, showing up because it's at a restaurant or a winery. We see Kenya, Candy, and Mayetta standing together. Sonya says hi to everybody. They're very, like, engaging with her. Marlo come up. Mayetta, Candy, and Kenya could not be bothered by her. Kenya wouldn't even look at Marlo. Candy said, hey. And then Marlo has Mayetta has this like fake move where she's like, head down. And it was just a mess. So Marlo goes to the bathroom because it's awkward. And Sonya's like, what's up with you and Marlo, Mayetta? She was like, I understand why, Kenya and Candy got beef, but what's up with you? I feel like Mayetta made an issue where there wasn't an issue. She's upset because Marlo said, oh, I guess Mayetta can come speak to me, like Candy let her speak to me or something like that. And my thing is like, Mayetta, you was given that, and you're giving that now because now it feels like you want to make an issue or you want to come at Marlo and check her. But the thing about it was like when Mayetta tried to check Marlo, it felt forced. It felt so forced, and it wasn't even cute. I was like, this not like you doing too much. You doing too much. So Courtney gets there. Courtney is just a lot of energy. Courtney is just too much energy. Like, she's constantly moving. I forgot to mention Courtney went over to Drew and Ralph's house. She brung her ex-husband or her ex-partner, Bruce, and everybody was like, yo, that's Bruce from the beauty store. No, is it beauty store? No, beauty shop. The spinoff of Barbershop. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my gosh, that is him. Someone posted a picture on the timeline. But yeah, Courtney was doing a lot at she was like, hey, like she's a lot. She is a lot. I do think it's kind of cool. She's like, she has a 24-year-old daughter. Like she look good, but she do a lot. We found out Sheree not coming. Like I said, not Candy. Candace did her thing with her wave. I just wish her outfit was different. So then Drew gets up there. Drew didn't even sing for a minute. They compared Sonya's time for winning her gold medal to Drew being up on stage with Candace singing her song. Drew was only up on stage for like 43 seconds and she was just humming. It was so lame. It was like, I was like, girl, you invited everybody for that. And you got Candace singing Comeback. No, Insecure. You had Candace singing Insecure. It was a mess. So yeah, she only sang for 43 seconds and 25, is it milliseconds? Yeah, 43 seconds and 25 milliseconds. We end up seeing Chris, and it's cute. So then we have a moment where the girls go to the back of like, I guess, the sitting area, and everyone's talking, and then everyone's like, Kenya prompts the moment for Sanya to talk to Drew or like squash her beef with Drew. And Sanya pretty much reiterates what she said in the beginning of the episode. I thought we was cool and then you was coming at me. Like, I thought we was cool, but then he was coming at me. But they were able to resolve it because their issue was never that deep. And Drew took the olive branch. Then Sonya brought up to the whole Mangetta situation. And that's when Mangetta was like, I don't do that fake stuff. You're not going to smile in my face and talk behind my back. And I was just like, it won't that deep, Mangetta. But I saw Kenya smiling like she was so proud of Mangetta for, getting with it, but it wasn't like, I was like, Marietta, you doing a lot. In this moment, Marlow got you, because Marlow said, can we move on? So then Courtney and Candy get into it. The only thing I pulled from this is Candy saying, I bring everybody out. And then she was triggered. Candy got real mad real quick with the whole ghetto thing. It was just like, okay. But it was funny because you could tell Courtney was enjoying arguing with Candy and like making a name for herself. So I was just kind of like, you played in her hand, girl. So then Drew brings up the gun incident at Candy's Candy's restaurant. My mind went blank, y'all. And that's when things went left because Drew caught it an incident. You could tell that like everyone was kind of looking at Drew like, what, like, don't bring it up, but she brought it up anyway. And Marlow was getting angry. Like, Marlow was like, say what happened. I was like, Marlow, we know what happened. It happened on the news. So I do feel like they should talk about it because it happened on the news and it was so visible. But it was just like, Marlow got upset. Her and Candy went back and forth. Then Candy was like, you want to talk about the lady's face you sliced? And Marlow said that happened 23 years ago. And, it is what it is. And I was kind of like, y'all got to get something new with Marlow. Y'all always bringing up Marlow's past. And it doesn't hit. Just like when people say Kenya ain't got a man, don't hit for me anymore. Like, it's old. It's old now. And like, it doesn't hit the way y'all think it hits. Because it's like, it's not salacious anymore. But, they end up tapering that conversation because, Drew is like, I'm in a happy moment. I don't want this to happen. And, I don't want this energy. But then we have a situation where Marlow and Drew are, getting into it because Marlow is mad that Drew didn't say, he got shot. Like, she wanted Drew to say that, it was a shooting at not Candace's, but I don't know why I'm getting Candace and Candy's name mixed up right now, at Old Lady Gang. And it just began to escalate from there. Like Drew was trying to be like, well, I know how you feeling, because then that's when Marlow brings up how her nephew died. So we find out that her nephew Quentin, who used to work at Old Lady Gang, he died at the age of 30 2 years ago during the pandemic. Him and his roommate got into it, and I guess the roommate resorted to gun violence. And she was just like, she felt like Candy didn't acknowledge what really happened. And I guess, like, I could see her being triggered at the fact that, like, Melvin got shot at Old Lady Gang, and then, like, this, like, my nephew got killed and he was a worker for you. I could kind of see that. But Marlow was doing too much, because next thing you know, when Drew is like, I understand, but Marlow was like, I feel like you're acting with me. Be real. Be real. Be real. So then she takes Drew's hand to, like, because Marlow's, I guess, heart was racing. That's why I do feel like Marlow was triggered, because after a while, like, it felt like Marlow wanted a moment, but it felt real. Like, she clicked out a little bit. And so she then gets him in Drew's face. She's like, my blood nephew. I was like, you didn't have to keep saying my blood nephew over and over. But she's like, my blood nephew got shot. Like, she's going, and then she gets like this close in Drew's face, yelling, and storms out. And Drew is just sit there like she's flabbergasted. Like, Drew is like, I don't know what just happened. She looking at production like, what just happened? And you could tell production wasn't ready, because the guy that was behind Marlow, like, jumped like he was about to grab her just in case she was about to, like, put her paws on Drew. But, like, Drew was so shocked. I was shocked, too, because then you see Marlow in the parking lot yelling. She's like, my blood nephew, and, like, cussing. And I was just like, I do feel like, like I said, I do feel like Marlow was itching for a moment. But, y'all, at the end, it was giving, like she tapped into that pain. Like, I was like, you do it, like, because I don't think Marlow's a good actor. So I really feel like Marlow, like, probably triggered herself. But yeah, y'all, that was the end of the episode. If I was Drew, I would have Marlow in the throat. Like, it would have been a karate chop like that, like, like Melissa McCarthy on Tammy, when she hit that dude in the throat. She went like, out of right in the throat, because she was like, Drew ain't got good reflexes. For somebody that's from Chicago, and I remember the way she was yelling at LaToya. If Drew was talking, like, the way she was coming at LaToya, you would have think Drew was like a heavyweight boxer. I'm like, Drew, your reflexes are trash, because I would have. It'd have been like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, we probably would have had to fight, because she got way too close to her. Like, I would have got like, oh, I got to defend myself, karate style. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.